cannot wait for college football this weekend. And we figured right now would be a good time to kind of give our early betting thoughts on the week 1 college football slate. And how could we not begin with the big noon kickoff game, the game that everyone wants to see, a game that we did see last year in the semifinals of the college football playoff. That is between Texas and Ohio State, the number 1 ranked Longhorns versus the defending college football playoff national champions. This is like as good as it gets to start a season. You get Ohio State coming off winning the Natty. You got Arch Manning making his debut as the full-time starter for the Texas Longhorns. This is all that we all wanted to see. This is all the makings of a great game. And the betting market right now tells us, PJ, we will have a great game coming up on Saturday, where Ohio State is a 2.5-point favorite, total sitting at 47.5. You don't have to give me your final thoughts. You can change your mind on send it in later on this week, as early as tomorrow. But look, when you see that point spread as we sit right now here, still 5 days out from kickoff, what do you like side and total, and why?
So on Send It In, Femi, which people can catch here on the BetMGM network Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, every Monday I do a segment called Bet Now. Games that I would bet right now because I think the line is going to move. And I did give out a play in this Ohio State-Texas game because I think it is a buy point on the Buckeyes at minus 120. When I was doing my show, the spread was minus 1.5 at BetMGM. Now we're starting to see a minus 2.5 pop up at plus 100. I would think the money line is going to move up. I think minus 120 is probably where you buy in on Ohio State. I don't think this goes to minus 115. I don't think it goes to minus 110. I think as we get closer, and certainly Saturday morning, I think some more money will come in on the Buckeyes. All summer, I thought I would be on Texas in this game, and we still got 5 days until the game, so I might be when it all is said and done. But I think there's more reason to like Texas in the game, but you bet numbers and not teams, and that number's telling me to bet Ohio State. I just think with the Buckeyes, like whenever we do this with them, and I look at 2 prime examples last season in the college football playoff against Tennessee and against Oregon. Ohio State, there aren't many times where they go into a game and like everybody wants to fade them, or everybody thinks they stink, or the team that they're playing, everybody thinks they're going to beat them. But I feel like recently, under Ryan Day, whenever we've had those games and like people are convinced Ohio State's going to lose, we should definitely bet against them as favorite, like all these things, that's when they take care of business, right? Against Tennessee, I mean, coming off the Michigan game, nobody wanted Ohio State. And obviously they take care of business. They smoke Tennessee. Then they play undefeated Oregon at the Rose Bowl, and Ohio State's favored. People are like, how is Ohio State favored in this game? Oregon's undefeated. They beat them earlier in the year, and that game's over in the second quarter, right? 2 years ago, I remember James Franklin and Penn State went into Columbus. Everybody thought that was the year Franklin was finally going to get him in the shoe, and Ohio State took care of business. Like, this is what happens, and because of Arch and Texas right now, and it just feels like a lot of people are liking Texas, and I get it. Ohio State's got a freshman starting at quarterback. They got 2 new offensive coordinators, and Texas has been great, man, in these early season matchups. Last year they went into Ann Arbor. They smashed Michigan. The year before, they go into Tuscaloosa. They beat Bama by 2 scores. Sark has had the ability early on in the year to have his teams play really well in these games. Now, Ewers has been the quarterback, and obviously he's been a little bit more experienced. The defense has been a little bit more experienced. So now with Arch and, some new guys on defense, as talented as they are, you wonder if that'll play a factor. Femi, for me, I think this is a game that you bet if you feel like you have a good number. And I think at Ohio State minus 120, we have a good number. If this thing goes back up to 3, I'm probably going to be on Texas. And man, if we can get a middle, that would be tremendous. But as of now, with the way that the lines are, I think Ohio State minus 120 probably would be my play.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It does feel a little bit like you're getting Ohio State at a buy low opportunity, which is kind of crazy because the season hasn't begun. And the last time we saw them, they were lifting the trophy and they had the confetti falling on them. Yep. I will say this, though, because like everything that I believe in college football and everything I believe just in football in general is that the game is won and lost on the line of scrimmage. I think Texas has the advantage on the line of scrimmage in this game. Like, their defensive line is going to be nasty this year. Their offensive line is always good. It's been really good ever since Steve Sarkisian stepped foot in Austin on campus. Like, I think Texas will have the advantage when it comes to the big boys. I think Texas is going to win. Like, I think we're going to be Oppo Taco on this one. I know the betting market, it feels like Texas is a little bit trendy right now. I just think that both of these quarterbacks, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be shaky. And I'm curious to get your thoughts on what Arch Manning will look like, because that's the guy that I think all eyeballs will be on, since he's the Heisman Trophy favorite right now at BetMGM and other sports books. But I think Texas controls it on the line of scrimmage. I hate the coordinator hires from Ohio State. Like,
Same.
I can't get past that when it comes to the Buckeyes. So, like, you tell me I have to bet the game, and I'm still back and forth on whether I will or not. I probably will, because it's the biggest game of the year, and it's like to start the season. I'm going to be so excited for it at a 9 o'clock kickoff out here on the West Coast. But I think right now I'm Texas or pass. I'm probably going to have something on Texas, just because I think they're going to get it done where it counts, which is in the trenches with the big boys in their hands in the dirt. But what do you expect to see from Arch Manning in this game and also this year? Because I've been saying it all summer. I don't know how good he is. I've just seen him play against bad teams, and it was only twice. Like, there's a chance where Arch is just kind of mediocre. And what does that mean to Texas' season if that's the case? Like, what are your expectations for Arch Manning this upcoming season? We'll get on to some other marquee games as well.
So, I mean, the way I feel about Arch is that I think we're certainly overhyping him a little bit. It would be incredible if he plays up to the expectation that some people think he will. I think he's a fine quarterback. I've been saying all year, I think he's probably the 4th or 5th best quarterback in the SEC. Like, I wouldn't take him over Sellers or Lagway or Garrett Nussmeier. I think he's probably, like, after those guys, like maybe 4 or 5. He's a good player. He's a great athlete. But again, Femi, like, especially when it comes to betting Texas, man, if you're going to be the favorite, I would at least like to have seen the quarterback played before. You know, I can't bet on a team based on just like projection or how great we think they can be because we all think this quarterback is awesome. I want to see Arch be awesome. And if he is, Texas is going to win the national championship because the rest of their team is fantastic. I can't get there at some of these prices. I can't get there with everybody saying he's the best quarterback in the country. He's going to be unbelievable. I think he's a solid player. I think he'll have a good season. I don't think he's going to be a difference maker, though. And again, I think he's probably like the 4th best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah, there's massive expectations on this dude. And like you said, like, if he's just as good as people say, congrats, Texas. You're the new CFP national champions. But
yes,
I'm leaving room for there maybe being Arches just like above average or just maybe good. And then maybe that keeps things wide open for some of these other contenders at the top to win the CFP. So Texas, Ohio State, fun game. Can't wait to watch it. But it'll be a smaller bet for yours truly. And it sounds like it'll be like that for PJ as well coming up Saturday afternoon. How about the Battle of Death Valleys between LSU and Clemson? This will be at Clemson. The Tigers, they're both Tigers. The Clemson is 3.5-point favorites. LSU is a dog in the game. Total sitting at 57.5. I know where I stand with this one. The betting market has liked Clemson quite a bit throughout the summer. This went from 3 now out to 4. Where are you at between the Battle of the Death Valleys and the Battle of the Tigers, LSU and Clemson?
Now, this is one of my favorite bets of week 1. I love LSU +4. I think they're going to win the game. I'm a fan of LSU this season. They got a really difficult schedule, but I think they're going to have a really good team. The area of concern for LSU, you talked about the line of scrimmage in the Ohio State-Texas game. That is definitely the concern because Clemson is one of the best D-lines. They have 2 of the best D-linemen in the country in TJ Parker and Peter Woods in the middle. And LSU starting 4 new offensive linemen. But I think the experience of Nussmeier, and even though those guys are new, they're talented, right? It reminds me a lot, Femi, of the A&M Notre Dame game that kicked off the season last year, where we talked about how that was a big advantage for A&M. They were at home. That home crowd would disrupt Notre Dame. They had these young linemen starting, a bunch of new pieces, but they found a way to get it done. And I think LSU is going to do the same. Yes, they have new guys. Yes, they have to go on the road. But Nussmeier's terrific. They got all those great skill position players, running backs, receivers. The defense still isn't what LSU maybe was 8, 9, 10 years ago, but I think they're going to be better. And, man, Brian Kelly he's got to have this one. They've lost 5 straight season openers. Like, you got to get this one. And I think he will. So it's going to be a great game. I also think we're overvaluing Clemson and Cade Klubnik, Femi. It's unbelievable. Guy played the best game of his Clemson career against Texas in the college football playoff, and you got to give him a ton of credit for that. He looked terrific. It just seems like we're also forgetting how many big games we've seen Klubnik play in where he hasn't been good. He played against Georgia the beginning of last season was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
He played against South Carolina to end the regular season. He wasn't good. The biggest ACC game they played was against Louisville. He wasn't good. He's played in like other big games and he wasn't great, but we all see the Texas game and now we're just all convinced that like he's going to be awesome. I don't know if that's the case, whereas I know Nussmeier's the real deal, and he's an NFL quarterback, and he's one of the best in the country. I just think +4 with LSU is a really good bet. I think they're going to win the game, Femi. So that's one of my favorites of week 1. I like LSU.
So going LSU on the money line, which right now I'm looking at the betting market, best price you can find +150 for LSU on the money line. BetMGM has +145. I don't like where we're headed with this because I think we're going to be Oppo Taco on a lot of these games, PJ. Like I like Clemson. And it's one of the reasons that I've been talking about all throughout this college football season. Like, I think Clemson's just better in the trenches. LSU, to me, it's great. And Garrett Nussmeier, like, that's my guy. We were on the Nuss bus last year betting him at big prices to win the Heisman Trophy. I am fully aware of what Garrett Nussmeier can do in terms of a downfield passing kind of quarterback. I don't trust the coach and Brian Kelly. There's a reason why his teams have stunk in these openers. He's not getting them ready. Or maybe he's putting too much pressure on them during the summer. I don't know what's happening, but something has not clicked for LSU in these opening games. And now you're on the road against a Dabo Swinney team. And like Dabo says, bring your own guts. Like Clemson usually rises to the occasion in these big time matchups. Now, Klubnik has not. And we were there on Front Street betting Georgia last year ahead of week 1, saying like, what the hell is this betting market? Georgia's going to wax them. And they did. But I actually do like where Clemson stands right now. The defensive line, everyone says it's similar to what they had when they won the title with Christian Wilkins and Cleveland Farrell and all those guys. Like, if it's that caliber of D-line, I think Clemson overwhelms them up front. Would I lay the 3.5 or 4? I kind of more like it as like a money line parlay. Like, give me Clemson on the money line paired with Texas or with something else. But I do think Clemson will win the game just because I think that defensive line at home will overwhelm LSU. And on the flip side, LSU's defense, they got to prove it to me before I can trust them on the road in hostile environments. So we will be Oppo Taco. Or maybe we stand in the middle. Maybe you take the points and I just bet Clemson on the money line and maybe Clemson wins by 3. But I do think Clemson wins the football game.
I love it. Look, nice little middle. That's what makes these games so great, Femi, is not only do we get, 3 top 10 matchups, but the point spreads are close. These games could go either way. And I think you're going to have a lot of people disagreeing on who they like in the games. Texas, Ohio State, a coin flip for me. But I'll go with LSU in this one. I just think Clemson's overrated. I'm not there with Klubnik. I think the defense is really good. This is the best crop of skill position players Dabo's probably had in like 5 or 6 years. But I just think we're overvaluing Klubnik. So I'll take LSU +4.
Yeah, these guys are all like top near the Heisman Trophy markets. It's going to be fun, man. That Heisman Trophy market heading into week 2, that thing is not going to look like how it looks right now based on the results of these games. Let's go over to the old-fashioned rivalry, back to the 80s. For Sunday night's contest in South Beach, Notre Dame at Miami, Fighting Irish, 2.5-point favorites, total 49.5. Your early thoughts, side total, Fighting Irish versus the Hurricanes.
This is a tough one. This game, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Who do you trust? Who do you trust here, PJ?
And that's the key, right? I mean, it's Freeman versus Cristobal, and even though Notre Dame's starting a freshman quarterback, it's probably going to be Notre Dame for me. If we can get a 3 with Miami, I think I might be on the Canes, even though I probably think Notre Dame money line is the best bet. Their defense is better. Both offensive lines are very good. They have the best running back in the country in Jeremiah Love. They have a top 3-4 coach in the country in Marcus Freeman. They're starting a freshman quarterback at CJ Carr. And we don't know what that's going to look like, but I've seen Cristobal in enough big games to know that just probably not the guy you want to back in those spots. I think Notre Dame, probably the right side. It's probably similar to how I feel about Ohio State. I'll probably bet the game just because it's can't wait to watch it. It's a big matchup. Don't love it, but I lean Irish.
Yeah, I think right now I'm with you. Lean towards Notre Dame. They're favored. So, do I want to bet it? I don't know. It just feels like it's a little bit too easy to just lay the 2.5 with Notre Dame. But I don't think I'd ever find myself on Miami. Not Mario Cristobal. We're not doing it, not against a competent team that recruits at their level. Nah, I would never. So, right now, it's probably a pass, but maybe I'll find myself on the Irish Sunday night.